Peace, family. How y'all doing? Hope everybody's doing well. Kind of tired, man. Had a 12-hour shift today at work. Headed home now. But just kind of wanted to drop this off to y'all. I posted the write-up earlier, but I figured I'd do a little video because a lot of people don't take time to read, and some people ingest information by video and audio. So the month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I think it's important that we discuss the importance of mental health awareness, especially during this COVID pandemic. If you look at some of the data from NAMI, National Alliance of Mental Illness, some of the data they mention is that there's about 43 million incidents a year of mental illness crises that happen any given year. Approximately 10 million Americans battle a mental illness, right? Severe mental illness. The CDC said from 2007 to 2017 that the rate of suicide has increased by 56% between the ages of 10 and 25, I believe. So mental illness is real. And with COVID, with the COVID pandemic, the presidential administration, in coalition with recommendation and advice from the National Institutes of Health, NIH, decided to put the shelter in place and social distancing orders, nationwide. And that's to try and curb the spread of COVID, which is a good thing. The only thing about that, though, is for individuals that battle and suffer from mental illness, that can also be destabilizing and kind of crippling. There's a myriad of triggers and stimuli that can, go ahead and potentiate a mental health crisis in people. We already, especially during this time, because the unemployment rate, they've already gave the labor data saying that there's about 30 million unemployment claims. We know that people are out of jobs. People still have rent and still have mortgages to pay, car notes, student loans, child care, child support, and just other financial obligations that they have to take care of. In addition to that, you have people that have children and they're teleworking, so they still have the obligation and duty to their job from teleworking, and they must also be responsible for making sure that their children meet the academic criteria online because of the school closures due to COVID pandemic. And so, wow, this dude's house is, wow. Whoa, got to see this. And so, you have parents, you have people that are dealing with that. So it's kind of like, on top of the financial stress and then managing, if you're teleworking, you also have the duty of the academic, stuff with the children because the school's closed. It can be a lot. And then on top of all of that, You have the amount of deaths of loved ones, family, and friends that's occurring. It's like daily, and with the shelter in place, people with mental illness, it's like a lot of people are probably just suffering in silence. Like, it's gone from shelter in place to almost solitary confinement for people that may battle mental illness. And so you look at these things, and like, I've attended a lot of Zoom funerals. So you have all these different virtual and online platforms like, Google Hangout or Skype or Zoom, in which people, when it comes to the bereavement process and mourning and grieving, people aren't really even grieving and mourning in a natural way. Like, this is all digital, and it's not, intimately engaging as, the natural process would be. And all of these things are just triggers. And so, you have to keep a watch on your friends and family that may be battling mental illness, because these things coalesce and come together, and they form like the perfect storm for a mental health crisis. And the thing is, you're not supposed to be going out and hanging out, and you're supposed to be social distancing and shelter in place. So people that are experiencing loss and death, they're grieving in these houses and homes by themselves, maybe, or just with limited amount of people, whereas before they probably could rely on somebody being there and just helping them go through the bereavement process. Then the other thing is, there's a lot of non-clinical, non-medical outlets that people usually use to help mitigate their mental health, conditions. Some people will, use sporting activities, participate in sports. Some people will participate in like yoga studios or art studios, various things that kind of help balance out the stress that can trigger a mental health crisis and breakdown. And so I'm saying all this to say, check up on your friends and your family, your loved ones, and have discussions with your family. A lot of that can help decompress and de-stress, alleviate a lot of anxiety that can be building right now, and just let people know that things are okay. And it's always better knowing that somebody's listening to you. So like I said, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So let's be mindful and mentally aware, and let's be vigilant stewards of our friends and family, and making sure that they are actually being checked on and cared about. All right, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Peace.